Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video I'd like to show you how I made this bear girl. A little earlier I made bear boy. I was using blue yarn for the ears and for the feet, but I was using the same velvet yarn. I made two bears from one ball of 300 grams. This yarn is really soft and it's really nice to touch. I would say that it's easy to work with this yarn. This yarn is really forgiving, so if you're not making perfect stitches when you are attaching parts, it won't be really noticeable. I believe that it's perfect yarn to make stuffed animals. I'm gonna show you step by step how I was making each part of the bear. We'll start with head, body, paws and legs. Then we'll make with cotton yarn face, nose and eyes, and also we're gonna make ears. After that I'm gonna show you how I was attaching all the parts. In the description to this video you can find the written pattern. I will crochet with baby velvet yarn from Bernard. I had a ball 300 grams and here we have 450 meters in one ball. From this ball I already made one bear and I think it's gonna be enough for one more. I also need cotton yarn. It's 125 meters in 50 grams, Fibra nature and 100% cotton. Another cotton yarn in white color. And one more cotton yarn for the nose and for eyes. This cotton is slightly thinner than the other one, 225 meters in 50 grams. Hooks in different sizes. This one is 2.5 millimeters, this one is 4.5 and the other one in 125. I will also need yarn needle, markers and scissors, some stuffing and two small beads for eyes. And with this white ribbon I'm gonna make a bow. I will start with making a head with velvet yarn. I will need hook 4.5 millimeters and a marker, magic circle, six single crochet in this magic circle. Pull in shorter end of the yarn and close in the circle. We'll count this as our first row. So in a second row we'll be making increases all around in every stitch that we have here. We have 6 stitches. In every one we'll be making 2 single crochet and at the end we'll have 12 stitches around. Going in our first stitch, making our first single crochet. Also we'll leave our marker here so we know where was our start of the round. Now making another single crochet and we'll continue with 5 more increases around. Round number 3 we'll be making increases as well. First it's gonna be 1 single crochet in next stitch and increase, so 2 single crochet in another stitch, and we'll repeat this pattern 6 times. 1 single crochet and leaving our marker and increase, 2 single crochet. And we'll have to repeat it 5 more times. If I'll continue making increases at the same places in my circles, at the end I'm gonna see a little shapes. I already starting to see them. That's why I'm gonna be shifting places where I'm making increases. So in row number 4, first I'm gonna make 1 single crochet in 1 stitch. I'm gonna leave my marker in this stitch. Then I'm gonna make increase, making 2 single crochet in 1 stitch. Then I'm gonna be making 2 single crochet in 2 next stitches and increase. So 2 single crochet in the next stitch. From now on in this row I will be repeating 2 single crochets in 2 next stitches and 2 single crochet in 1 stitch. So 2 single crochet and 1 increase. I have to repeat this pattern 4 times until I'm gonna have at the end 1 stitch left. And finishing this row with 1 single crochet in 1 stitch that's left. I have 24 stitches around now. Row number 5, 2 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. I'm gonna place my marker in the first stitch that I just made. Increase 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And now I'm gonna repeat a pattern of 3 single crochet in 3 stitches, 1 increase, and again 3 single crochet, 1 increase. I will be repeating this pattern 5 times until I'm gonna have at the end 1 stitch left, and finishing with 1 single crochet. Row number 6. At the end of this row I'm gonna have 36 stitches. So again I will be making 6 increases. I'm gonna start with 1 single crochet. I'm gonna leave my marker in this stitch, 1 increase, 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, 4 single crochets in the next 4 stitches, and 1 increase. Finishing this round with 3 single crochets in the next 3 stitches. Now we get in our circle without any edges here. Row number 7. That's gonna be simple 5 single crochets, 1 increase, and I will be repeating it 6 times. Leaving our marker in the first stitch. And 1 increase. And repeating it 5 more times. So now we have 42 stitches around. In the next row we'll be making increases. At the end we're gonna have 48 stitches, starting with 3 single crochet, and not forgetting to leave our marker in our first stitch. Increase, 6 single crochet, and increase. We have to repeat 6 single crochets, 1 increase 4 more times. Finishing this row with 3 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Next row, which is row number 9, we'll have to make increases again. At the end, we're gonna have 54 stitches. So we'll be making 1 increase and 7 single crochets, and that's gonna be our last row where we're making increases. Starting with increase, 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, not forgetting to put our marker in our first stitch. Now 7 single crochets, and we have to repeat this pattern 5 more times. But overall in this round we'll repeat in this pattern 6 times. And for all other increases that we were making or decreases that we'll continue to make, we'll be making in the row 6 times. I finished with all increases for the head. Now I have 54 stitches around. From row 10 to row 21, I will be crocheting 54 stitches around without decreases or increases. I will still leave my marker in this place so I can easily count how many rounds I'm making. Because I'm not going to be making increases or decreases, I will just meet you when I'm going to be done with those rows. Also, just want to let you know that whole pattern for this teddy bear I'm going to leave in description to this video. Now it's time to make some decreases. Row number 21, 7 single crochets in 7 stitches. I will use marker to mark the first stitch in our round. And our first decrease. We'll be decreasing, taking it by the half of the loop that is closer to us, closer to our front side. So I'll take 1/2 of this stitch and second one, pull the yarn, make a single crochet. That was our first decrease. And now I'm gonna continue with 7 single crochets in next 7 stitches, and again I'm gonna make a decrease in the same way that I just did. I have to repeat this pattern 5 more times. In row 22, we'll continue making our decreases with shifts. So we'll be shifting our decreases in one side or in another one. So they're not going to be in one line and they're not going to be as noticeable. 3 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Don't forget about marker. 1 decrease in the same way, 6 single crochet in the next 6 stitches, another decrease, I have to make 4 more decreases, and I will be making them 1 decrease, 6 single crochets until I'm gonna reach 3 stitches at the end. In these 3 stitches, I'm gonna make 3 single crochets without decreases. Row 23, 4 single crochets, one decrease, 5 single crochets, one decrease, and repeating 5 single crochet, 1 decrease 4 more times. At the end, I should have one stitch in which I'm gonna make one single crochet. Round 24. 2 single crochets in 2 stitches, 1 decrease, 4 single crochets, and 1 decrease. Repeating 4 single crochet, 1 decrease 4 more times. At the end, I'm gonna have 2 stitches in which I'm gonna make 2 single crochets. Row 25, which is our last row for the head. 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, 3 single crochets, 1 decrease. Repeating 4 more times, 3 single crochet, 1 decrease. At the end, I'm gonna have 2 stitches left in which I'm gonna make 2 single crochets. That's all for the head. We made the 25 rounds, and now we can cut the yarn and fill our head with some stuffing. First 15 rounds of the body are exactly the same as in the head part. I will repeat the pattern of these rows and meet you at the beginning of round number 16. In the round number 16, we'll be repeating pattern of 7 single crochet in 7 stitches and 1 decrease. We have to repeat this pattern 6 times. At the end, we'll have 48 stitches around. 7 single crochets, and 1 decrease. I have to make this pattern 5 more times. In the next 4 rounds, from round 17 to round 20, we'll crochet 48 single crochets without increases or decreases. Round 21, 6 single crochet and 1 decrease. Repeating 6 times. At the end, we'll have 42 stitches. Round 25, 5 single crochets and 1 decrease. At the end, we'll have 36 stitches around. Repeating 5 more times. Next round, round number 30, 4 single crochet, 1 decrease. Repeating 6 times. At the end, we'll have 30 stitches. In round 31, we'll crochet 30 single crochets around without decreases. In the next round, we'll continue with decreases and we'll start with 3 single crochets, 1 decrease, repeating it 6 times. At the end, we'll have 24 stitches around. 3 single crochets, 1 decrease, and repeating this pattern 5 more times. And in our last round, we'll make last decreases. We'll crochet 2 single crochets and 1 decrease. At the end, we'll have 18 stitches around. 2 single crochets and 1 decrease. And the body is done. We can now cut our end of the yarn and put some stuffing inside. Body and head are done, and now we'll continue with making a leg, arm, and ear. We'll make the arm first. Magic circle. Four single crochet in magic circle. Closing the loop. 2 single crochet in every stitch around. At the end, we'll have 8 stitches. Marker in the first stitch. Round 3, 2 single crochet in one stitch and 1 single crochet. Repeating this 4 times. At the end, we'll have 12 stitches. Round 4, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet in one stitch, and again 1 single crochet. Repeating this pattern 4 times. Row number 5, 3 single crochet in 3 stitches, 2 single crochet in one stitch, so 1 increase, and repeating this 4 times. At the end of this round, we'll have 20 stitches. Round 6, 1 increase, so by 1 increase I mean 2 single crochet in one stitch and 4 single crochets. Repeating this pattern 4 times. At the end we'll have 24 stitches around. In the next 4 rounds, from round 7 to round 10, we'll be crocheting without increases 24 single crochets around. In row 11, we have to make 4 decreases, and those decreases gonna come first. So we'll be making first decrease and putting our marker back, next decrease, third, and fourth decrease. We'll finish our row with 16 single crochet around. In round 12, we'll make 11 single crochet, then 1 decrease and 7 single crochet. At the end of our round, we'll have 19 stitches. 11 single crochet, one decrease, and finishing with 7 single crochets. Next two rows, 13 and 14, we'll be making 19 single crochet without increases or decreases. In round 15, we'll continue making decreases. 1 decrease, one single crochet, 1 decrease, five single crochet, one decrease, seven single crochet, and at the end we have 16 stitches around. From round 16 to round 21, we'll be crocheting 16 single crochets around without increases or decreases. Before we finish our arm, after row 21, we'll put some stuffing inside. Twenty-second row, 1 decrease, 6 single crochet, one decrease, and 6 single crochet. At the end of this row, we have 14 stitches around. Round number 23, one decrease, five single crochet, one decrease, five single crochet, we have 12 stitches around now. Row number 24, and that's going to be our last row. One decrease, four single crochet, one decrease, and four single crochet. Now we're going to add a little more stuffing inside. We'll leave a little longer end of the yarn so we can attach our arm to the body, and we'll cut the yarn. Now we'll make a leg. We're gonna start with pink yarn, and I'm gonna be using hook 2.5. I'll be using 2 balls of pink yarn. I won't need all of those, but I have to knit with 2 threads. If you have just 1 ball, the other end of the yarn, you can just take it from inside. Also, I need 2 markers for this part. Chain of 10 with pink yarn. Slip knot, I'm gonna count as my first stitch. I will be knitting in rounds, so first I'm gonna knit in this part of chains and then on the other one. 2 single crochet in a second stitch from the hook. Seven single crochets in the next 7 stitches. Three single crochet in the next stitch, which is our slip knot. In the second stitch, I'm gonna put my marker here, so I know that it's gonna be our middle part. I'm gonna finish with another 1 single crochet in the same stitch. Also, I'm gonna pull this end of the yarn to close this stitch, turning our work on the other side, and continue with 7 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. Also, I'm hiding this end of the yarn in my knitting now. And it goes just inside here. And I finish my row with 1 single crochet in a stitch where we already made 2 single crochet in our beginning. Round number 2, I'm gonna start with 3 single crochet in the next stitch. So that's gonna be my first stitch over here, and in that stitch I'll crochet increase, and I'll crochet here 3 single crochets. So it's gonna be my first one. In a second, I'm gonna put my marker, and that's gonna be middle part, the same kind of middle that I have on the other side. And I will continue with making 1 more single crochet in the same stitch. 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So that's gonna be another increase. 7 single crochets in the next 7 stitches. Two single crochet in the next stitch. Three single crochet in our middle part, so where we have our marker in this stitch, we'll crochet 3 single crochet. And again, in the second single crochet, we'll put our marker. So it's 1, second, putting back our marker here, and third one. Two single crochets in the next stitch. Seven single crochets. And two single crochets in the next stitch. Round number 3, 1 increase, 2 single crochets in the next stitch. In a stitch with a marker, we making 3 single crochets, also switching our marker. So first stitch, for single crochet second, and then second single crochet we bring back our marker, and third one in the same stitch. Then in the next stitches, 2 stitches, we'll be making increases as well, 2 single crochet in one stitch and 2 in another one. One increase, and second increase. 9 single crochets in the next 9 stitches. In the next 2 stitches, we'll be making increases of 2 single crochets in each stitch. In a stitch with a marker, we'll be making 3 single crochets. Putting back our marker in the second single crochet here, so in the second stitch, and making third single crochet in the same stitch. On this side we'll be making increases as well, so 2 single crochet in one stitch and 2 in another one. Nine single crochets in the next 9 stitches. And 2 single crochets in the next stitch. Round number 4, and that's going to be our last round with pink yarn. 3 single crochets in the next 3 stitches. Two single crochets in a stitch with a marker, and we won't need our marker anymore, so we can remove it. Nineteen single crochets in the next 19 stitches. Two single crochets in a stitch with a marker. We can also remove it from this side too, we won't need it anymore. And 16 single crochets in the next 16 stitches. Now we're gonna make slip stitch. And we'll put our end of the yarn, so our stitch we'll put on the other side. So that's how our sole looks like. Over here, just in the middle, we have little holes, so we want to cover it. I'm gonna go not in this big hole. It was our first chain in which we were making our increases, but I'm gonna go just one up over here with my hook. Taking this loop and bringing it on this side. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make one kind of like row over here. So I will be knitting in all these holes and making a chain. So on the front side, we're gonna cover our holes and we'll make a chain. And when we're done with our chain, we can finally cut this end of the yarn. I have 42 stitches around now, and I can start knitting with gray yarn. For the first 2 rows, I'm still gonna use hook 2.5. I'm gonna make a loop with gray yarn. And I will attach this loop to my first stitch. I'm gonna go in the first stitch over here in the sole part. Make a first loop. Now I'm gonna continue making 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So at the end, I'm gonna have 42 stitches around. And I'm gonna join this row with a slip stitch. So I'm gonna find my first stitch that I made and I will join it like that. Next row, 1 single crochet in every stitch again, making it all around. I'm gonna have again 42 single crochets. And in the first stitch, I'm gonna put my marker so I know where was the start of my row. In this row, I'm not gonna be joining my row with a slip stitch. Next row, I'm just gonna continue knitting, starting with this stitch over here. Now I'm gonna change my hook to the hook 4.5, so the one that I'm usually knitting with a gray yarn. And in the third row with my gray yarn, I'm gonna be making decreases, 2 single crochets and then 1 decrease. I will repeat it till the end of my row. Then I'm gonna have 31 stitch around. Next row, which is row number 4 with our gray yarn, we'll start with 1 decrease. Our marker back, and then we'll make 29 single crochets around without any decreases or increases. At the end of the row around, I have 30 stitches. I will continue knitting 30 stitches around for 4 more rows. From row number 5 to row number 8 with gray yarn, I will be knitting 30 single crochets around. In round number 9, I will start making decreases. I will make 3 decreases right in the middle part, so it's gonna be toe part. I will be making decrease from 3 loops and again from 3 loops and one more time from 3 loops. First decrease, I'm gonna take 3 half of the loops that I have right here, and I'm gonna do the same decrease that I'm usually doing with 2 half of the loop, but this time I'm just gonna decrease 3. So making a loop from 3 half of the stitches and finishing single crochet. I'm gonna leave my marker in this stitch just to be sure where was my first decrease and start of my row. Then I'm gonna go to the second decrease, again decreasing technically 2 loops, but I'm knitting 3 half of the loops. Like that, and one more time. So my decreases in this row are done. Now I have to make 21 single crochets around. In row number 10, we're making 1 decrease. We decrease in 2 loops. So taking 3 half of the stitches and making 1 single crochet with them. So in that way we'll be decreasing 2 loops. And we'll continue with 21 single crochet. At the end of the row we have 22 stitches around. Row number 11 will make a 1 decrease as well. We'll also be decreasing 2 loops, so we'll be knitting 3 halves of the stitches together and continue with 19 single crochet. 1 decrease, again finding 3 half of the stitches, knitting them together, making 1 single crochet with them, and continue with 19 single crochets around. After row 19, I'm gonna put some stuffing inside the leg. In row number 20, I'm gonna be making 5 decreases in the next way. So 1 decrease, 2 single crochets, and I'll repeat this 5 times. At the end, I'm gonna have 15 stitches around. 1 decrease, and we decrease in 1 stitch, 1 loop. So we take in 2 half of the stitches, and with them we'll make in 1 single crochet. 2 single crochets, and we'll repeat in this pattern 4 more times. Adding a little more stuffing. Row 21 will be our last row. We'll be making decreases again in the next way. So 1 decrease and 1 single crochet. We'll repeat this 5 times. So 1 decrease, also taken by half of the stitches, 1 single crochet, and repeating this 4 more times. It was our last round. Now we're just gonna make sure that we have enough stuffing inside, and we can cut our yarn just to leave a little end so we can attach the leg to the body. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful for you, and I'll see you in my next videos.